Crazy.
I'll be honest, I was been waiting for this podcast for a good long time because for some reason in the back of my mind, I know this is going to be the most controversial podcast, even more controversial than the Gen Snake one, and I know that you two guys, because I mean, this is going to be the first time I'm going to talk to two guys at the same time that I personally do not know, because I know that you're on encrypted, both of you are in encrypted, and I would consider the Purest One as a friend of mine, but because you two guys know each other, but I don't know you two well, I just know this is going to be arguably the best podcast in the series. I just know you two are going to go full ham on a lot of people, possibly on me. Possibly this might turn into a 1v2 on a Skype podcast. You never know, but you know, whatever brings in the ratings and whatever brings in the views, I don't mind.
No, it ain't. I don't think I'm gonna attack you. And now, if you was perfect self, then yeah.
Yes, if I was perfect stealth, if I was like going, you two guys are just full of idiots. You don't know what you talk about. This community is cancer, and then you two will just go like full ham on me. And you know, like if I was acting like perfect stealth, then obviously go full ham. But I'm not. You know, anybody that joins this podcast, I would consider them as a friend. I will never shit talk them to anybody. I'll never shit talk to, you know, anybody about them. You know, I'm just a loyal guy. I just think, you know, when it's nice when people who don't know me especially come to join this podcast, you know, I consider them as a friend, you know, because it takes time out of you guys, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, and you come into the podcast, and I really appreciate that.
We ain't doing shit. It's a Sunday, man. It's the Lord's Day.
Chill, no, calm down. You don't even go to church.
Yeah, am I wrong though? It's the Lord's
You
Day.
don't go to church though.
Yeah, I do.
Cody, when the last time you been to church?
Last week.
You a last week live.
Nah, I went bro. You don't know me.
You was on PSN.
What, last week?
Yes, Sunday.
So you write down the times I get on, DJ.
No, I see people. Well, there's a such thing on PS4 that says notify your friends when they come online. You ever heard of that?
Oh, so you just saw me from last week. You know, memory can be lost in a week, but
whatever. Whatever. First of all, black churches don't let out at like 11 o'clock. They start at 11 and they don't let out till about like 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Black church.
You go to white church?
Yeah.
I don't believe you, but whatever.
My mom got me into church. My mom's white. Church.
I don't believe you. I don't.
You don't know me.
Okay, alright, whatever you say. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Whatever you say.
Usually I would do an intro. I'd say this is my guest, you know, PyroGuardian and Cyclone. But I think this will be a good enough intro already. Thank you two guys for joining my podcast. Well, it's the Lord's Day. I go to church. Fuck you, man. You never go to church. You do. This is just brilliant. I'm just gonna leave this as the intro. Forget the intro. Just forget the intro. This is quality. This is absolute quality. But anyway, forget the intro. Should we start this podcast now?
Yeah, that's cool. Cool with me. Go ahead.
Fine then. Right, we'll start the podcast now. So, first question I'm going to ask you two guys. What were your favourite MGO3 moments?
I'm going to let the retard go first. Okay.
No. You go first.
Let's see. Favorite MGO moment?
It could be any MGO moment. It could be MGO3. It can be MGO2, MGO1 even.
Tell them about when you got kicked out of encrypted, DJ.
Kicked out of what?
Yeah, you got kicked out for defending Ride, remember?
No, that was LC.
Oh yeah, they didn't make encrypted. Okay, yeah, LC. My bad.
Encrypted was on MGO3, and Lost Cause was MGO2.
Hey shit.
No, it's not.
Alright, well tell them about it.
I don't even remember that, to be honest with you.
Alright, well answer the question.
I know I got kicked out of LC for just because I was bad.
Yeah, you have to have some crazy, funny NGO moments, man. Cause LC, what niggas be telling me in the party chat on PS4, man, it's
like LC and MGO2 was legit. legit probably like 90% of the black people that was on NLC. Like, not no joke. And then every time, some people would lag, but not all of us would be laggy, right? So every time we see somebody, they be like, "Oh, we're facing the monkeys," or we're
Holy
facing
shit.
the apes. Yeah, so it's like, I don't, especially sexy sniper. Every time she played us, bro, when she was riding Frostbite and playing with Frostbite, man. Every time she played with us, it's like they say like, "Oh, we're monkeys," or like, we're very laggy. The only real laggy one in LC was Smoke. Smoke was, and he's a prodigy of Daz. So you know how laggy Daz is. So Smoke was, he was insanely laggy. But probably my favorite MGO moment was when I found out that Ryden or Quentin was a man, aka Jassy.
Oh my god.
It was a character on MGO2 named XX Ryden XX, right?
Jasmine?
And Jasmine. He went by Jasmine. So, and he dated D wrong. So if DG hear this or whatever, I'm sorry for you. I still am. But we was in a free battle match, and I guess he didn't know that his mic was on. And then we were in the, like, before the match started, you know how you're in the lobby and like the little, you hear the sound of the match in the background.
The briefing?
Yeah, the briefing. And his mic comes on and we hear him talking. And then everybody starts going crazy in the room. They start typing the caps like, "Yo, that's a man. That's a man. Jazzy's a man." And then he didn't even say nothing. I'm like, "Yo, I never thought I would get on today and somebody would be exposed for acting like a female for 2 years."
This is some really big exposure shit.
A lot of people did it. Who? Aria Chan, Jasmine. There was like Yulia Beckham.
Yulia Beckham.
Yeah, Yulia Beckham.
That man was a weightlifter. Fatal Fox was about to take that dick. That man was fucking like 200 pounds, bulging.
Bro, that man Fatal Fox's trade was like the eHarmony, bro. Like if you was looking for love, it was only him though. Like it would be him, and then he'd be like, "My requirements." It was like he posted on his thing. He didn't do this for real, but I think this was the requirements to get in SFU. You would have to just be a female. Let you know. Because all the girls, he had Too High, he had Leah at one point. Like 2 or 3 other girls was in there, and I'm like, he got the whole. This is every female that play MGO is in SFU. Zuli.
So what you're saying is that he was essentially like the Hugh Hefner of MGO2.
He wasn't no Hugh Hefner, because Hugh Hefner has the Playboy bunny. Yeah, this man.
They don't have like blood.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So while Hugh Hefner has the Playboy bunnies, this guy's got the MGO2 skanks. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. Yes.
And like,
Yes.
some more dudes. I'm pretty sure. Most of the people that claim to be a girl and never came out, I'm pretty sure they're probably guys too.
Oh, definitely. Because, I mean, if they're supposed to be a girl, you know, you think they were talking voice chat, but they give you so much bullshit excuses. You know, they'll say something like, "Oh, I'm too shy," or, you know, like, "Oh, but if I talk, though, then a lot of people will get onto me and they'll start saying, 'Oh, but you're a girl,' and all this." But the thing is, though, you know, it's like, either they're just doing it for attention or they're just trying to hide the fact that they're a man, really. You know, there's a lot of people who pretend to be females on games, but they're actually, like, you know, got deep as fuck voices in real life.
You know who was notorious for them excuses that, "Oh, she doesn't have a mic, so she doesn't talk." But I've talked to her on Skype. This man LJ 164.
Oh. Go on, tell us more.
Man. We was in the trainer room, and I was like, "So that's your girl, right? What happened?
Hey.
What?
Didn't he go to like Canada to meet her or something?
That was a lie. Yeah.
Oh, real.
We was in the trainer room, and then he was like, "Oh no," I said, "Oh, so that's your girl, or whatever." And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Why don't she? I see the mic. Why don't she use it?" And he was like, "Well, she doesn't talk, or she don't like talk to random people or something like that. But there's a video on YouTube with her voice in it." So I'm like, "Okay, send me the video." So he sends the video, and it's like, it sounds like a recording over the video. Like, it doesn't sound like somebody was doing commentary. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like somebody was playing commentary from a chick
It sounds like a recording going into the mic.
going into a video. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it sounded like. And I was like, you really think that? What? Am I the only one that's like smart here, or is it just like, are you that dumb? I don't have that problem with LJ now, but back then it was like, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. I really don't.
So MGO2 had an infestation of catfishes as well. Pretty much,
Yeah.
it's just an infestation of catfishes galore. People pretend to be females, so usually the thing is though, I've noticed usually people pretend to be females on games is either one, they've got some kind of mental problem, or two, they play as females because they expect, you know, a high ranked main, like say such as yourselves or on a different game or whatsoever, to carry them. It's this weird like white knight psychology in people, you know, they think, oh, you know, damsel in distress, if I help this girl out, or so-called girl, you know, they think they'll get some kind of attention. But usually people will do it. I know you two guys won't do that, obviously, you know, you're not that, you know, stupid. But, like, a lot of people will do that just to get some, like, attention from a so-called girl. I mean, it's really sad, and I just wish people just, you know, wisen up and stop carrying people just because they're women, you know? If they want to get good at the game, they have to get good at the game. They can't have people carrying them all the way to the big leagues. Such as
And you
SS
can't
Sniper
have
Wolf, for example.
yeah. You can't have no. She was carried and she had people play for her. So she
Wait, who?
she got Leah,
Oh,
sexy sniper. Because all them Call of Duty videos that people be saying, oh, she's great, the first girl that I've seen that's amazing. That was Rim playing for her.
Oh, Call of Duty.
Yeah, even when they were living together, he would give her videos, and then she would upload the videos and upload herself like she was playing the game. Like, that wasn't her. Even people, if any of her subscribers were able to play with her on Call of Duty, I guarantee you she goes next. Guarantee.
And Ram's a great Call of Duty player too. I remember playing with him back in the day. He used to carry my ass because I wasn't that good at Call of Duty. So.
And he had videos on his channel of him like get 101 in like 6.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So, and then I start seeing them on her channel. I'm like, okay. And then his channel gets taken down. I'm like, all right, strike 2. And then they move in together. I'm like, well, there it is, strike 3.
Well, maybe, you know, he's playing his game and his cards very wisely, you know. That's how he's scoring in life, you know, helping women out in distress by playing for them. You know, being that what's the word? Instead of a ghostwriter, there could be a ghost gamer.
Yeah, that's basically it.
They're not together now, so apparently. So, what did he really with?
No, I don't keep up with that shit. I couldn't care less about them or their relationship.
I don't care either, but it's the fact that like people come to me and tell me this stuff. They're like, you know they ain't together no more, right?
Oh,
Okay.
like Nightbox in the Skype chat. How does this fat nigga get with this? Like, bro. He say that in the Skype chat. I'm like, damn, man. He just go in for no reason.
I think Nightpots be mad low key because he'd be like he'll call Leah ugly, but Nightpots, come on, man. Like you for you to be talking about her this month, you have to have some type of crush on her because every single thing about Leah, here come Nightpots.
It's that old school playground mentality, you know, back in the day when someone will say like, oh, I hate this girl, or if a girl will say, I hate this boy, but you know, secretly they have a crush on them. That's how usually things go. You know, if they're still talking about them to this day, there's something going on.
Well, Nightfox and Leah both don't like black people, so
Oh,
they got something in common.
oh
Hey,
shit.
So
No, I don't know if she really don't like black people, but like from the monkey comment on MGO too, I would
Well,
I would
yeah, I
assume.
mean, if someone says something like that, that means they usually are racist. There's no way someone would just casually say that and not be racist, you know. I don't get too much into it, but yeah, that sounds like
Yeah,
she's got some racial prejudice against black people.
yeah,
yeah.
but they won't say it
Anyway, go
in person,
go on
though.
Cyclone, go on Cyclone. You
They won't say it in person though. Like if they're face to face with somebody, they ain't gonna call them a monkey. They get knocked the fuck out.
exactly.
So I mean, I guess that because you're behind a computer screen, you can say what you want, but
Like, I'm 6'9", 300 pounds full of muscle. I've got an MMA record of 55 wins, 52 by knockout, 3 by decisions. Come at me, bro, in real life. And usually when they talk shit behind like a computer, that means they usually are weak as fuck in real life. You know, it's just the fact they're hiding behind a computer screen or, you know, like just anything. You know, they're just like weak as fuck in real life. You know, they just act big when they're obviously like small as fuck.
That's what I don't understand when it comes to people and seeing a female character on a video game and they're like, oh, that must be a girl.
Well, yeah,
And
and
they hear
they all
your
crowd
voice and they're
round.
like, oh, well, she sounds like she look good. How do you sound like you look good?
low key, man, I played on a girl character because I thought the girl characters had a better shot than the male characters in GO2.
I thought
That,
that too.
that's why I played on a girl character sometimes. For some reason, I thought the girl characters had a better shot. I don't know who made up that rumor, but I still don't know if it's true. But
Like people, huh?
I seem to do a little bit better on the girl character.
I think I did too, low key.
Yeah.
Like people be like, they think they're dating somebody like Scarlett Johansson on the internet, and then like this girl could be, she can have an eye patch and a peg leg, like
Chill. She's not
sitting at the
chill.
She can be. You don't know
No,
that.
uh,
You don't know that.
unless she's cosplaying or something. She better be cosplaying.
You ain't cosplaying with no eye patch on. You be dating a girl that look like Blackbeard and you don't even know.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Fucking hell. Look like, what's his name off Pirates Caribbean? Is it Captain Davy Jones? Look like that in real
Oh,
life.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, real.
Anyway, let's go to the most controversial part of the podcast. I have been waiting for this part for weeks and weeks. I could not wait to get to this part because so much shit went down on Twitter. We have to talk about this. I will kick myself for the rest of my life if we do not talk about this. So, we'll talk about this particular person afterwards, or what happened on Twitter, but I'm going to ask you two guys, what is your honest opinion on Perfect Stealth?
Go ahead, Kobe. I went first. I'll go second this time. You
I
go.
mean, I think he's a fake ass nigga, in my opinion. But I just don't know who he is. And from MGO2, I knew almost everybody that played. Uh, but he just came out of the blue, sucked Konami's dick, and said, "Hey, this is a great game. I like it." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna wait for this to drop." It drops, and it's just complete ass. And I should have known better because he's not like I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who he is, and so why should I believe him? He could have been paid by Konami, which I probably think that he got paid by Konami to give a good review. Because that game is fucking ass. I don't know how anybody could say that it has no problems when it still has problems to this day. Compared to MGO2, I still don't. Yeah, I still don't see how you could say MGO3 is probably the best MGO in the series. I mean, it's just ass. So like, just because of that, because of the fact that he supports Konami's for releasing a shit game and continues to support them and continue to lie to the community saying that they're releasing good games, I just think he's fake. everything about him is just.
Oh,
Fake,
he's
man.
very fake. Recently, I was talking to a mutual friend of me and the purest one. I think you two guys know him as Spectre X7.
Oh yeah,
To
yeah.
add more to your point, Cyclone. I was talking to Spectre X7 on a private DM on Twitter, and it is very suspicious even when you said, I think everything's fake about him. Spectre X7 told me when Perfect Stealth arrived on the MGO3 scene, Konami was like billing him as, the world's greatest player on MGO3 or the world's greatest, player on Konami games or whatsoever. For the fact that Konami have come out and started saying all this stuff about Perfect Stealth, I think in the back of my mind when I think about it, I think Konami was trying to do some ploy of trying to manufacture and do some heavy PR over a random player who's happened to be called Perfect Stealth. And it's just so funny because Spectre X7 was telling me, he says, I find it fun when Konami tell me, oh, Perfect Stealth is the greatest player on MGO3, but when he entered the ESL tournament, he couldn't even get past his first round. Like you're the world's greatest player, and you can't get past the first round. And what Spectre X7 told me when Perfect Self lost, he started trying to go on some kind of Twitter rampage and trying to get. I think it was encrypted. I think it was you guys or something. You guys won fairly and absolutely destroyed him. But then he went on Twitter and he started saying, "Oh, they're all like switching or mowing or some bullshit." And then it's like, Spectre X7 was telling me, it was like, mate, seriously, just own up that you lost on the first round. You were embarrassed. You were pushed so heavily, and you're embarrassed.
Like he was banned in ESL for apparently glitching them, but we're just using the game mechanics. The game's broken.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
it's not my fault. I know Das inspired. He lagged really bad, but he's not glitching. At least I hope not. But I mean,
Well, yeah.
I never thought he glitched. I never got glitched by him. He's doing some crazy shit, but I just think that's lag. He was in Hawaii at the time that we played ESL. He lived in Hawaii, and then he moved to Kansas. So that kind of helped him out a little bit. But he's also on a wireless extender too, so he's gonna lag. And the only complaints they really had was about Inspired. So none of us really did anything crazy to assume that it's him.
Well, yeah, I would believe you guys, because you guys, when I saw you on the MGO.io tournament, you guys absolutely destroyed the competition, except the last one, I think it was against Purge Plus. They were having some comeback at the end, but then you guys won at the very end, and obviously, overall winners. But I've never seen anything glitching, I've never seen any cheating or whatsoever, and I just find it funny that Perfect Stealth tried to blame on glitching to compensate for his own loss, and his, huge ego getting shattered by encrypted. But yeah, I just think he's so manufactured by Konami, and it's just this. I just find it funny. There's been this whole heavy PR stunt behind him that he's the world's greatest MGO3 player. And he gets embarrassed and destroyed on the first round.
Yeah, I don't understand how they could just proclaim him as the best MGO3 player, or MGO player in general, because he wasn't in the anniversary tournament that Konami held in MGO2. Where are those people at? What happened to Ryu or whatever? Wasn't it Ryu DJ that won the tournament?
Ryu.
Yeah, Ryu or whatever. He's supposed to be the best MGO player. Where all of them go? They're well known and
Exactly.
They had a portrait of him in what was it? Hazard House? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a picture of him.
They had a picture of him on the
What happened to them? Why couldn't you just hit them up and be like, hey, we're releasing MGO3. We'd love to get your feedback on it. Instead, they had to create this proclaimed God and say, hey, he's the best.
You wanna know why? You wanna know why Konami does that? Because
yes, but still.
Exactly, and they don't like people that say negative stuff about their game. Like you can even look at RP for example. All the videos he put out saying, okay, here's what's wrong with it, and here's what you can do. They never respond to somebody like that, but somebody like Perkins stuff. When the game dropped, there was a secret glitch in the game where you can get grabbed from I don't know what it was. It was a long distance, yeah. And then Perkins stuff was sitting there on Twitter like, oh, I don't see anything wrong with the game. I don't the CQC is not this CQC is not it's never happened to me. I can't remember. And then you have Konami over here like, well, we know it's there and we can't fix it. Yeah, and then they fire everybody from the LA studio like they should have done, and then Japan gets the game, and they're like, oh yeah, we can fix this, and they fix the CQC glitch.
See,
So like,
and when the community bashes MGO3, it's not that we're saying the game isn't good. It's just not good right now. We're giving you constructive criticism.
Exactly.
Click so you can fix the game and we can enjoy it better. But Konami's just lazy. They
It's
don't
just
wanna do
such a lack of support. I understand what you're saying. You know, the game could be very, very, very good, but because like MGO2, you had a shit ton of DLC. You had like 3 DLCs, and there was a lot of unique characters. There was a lot of maps that came with the DLC. But with this game, though, there's just lack of DLC. We've only had 1 DLC within 1 year. If someone says to me, "Yeah, but you know, TSG though appeal packs are DLC," no, they're not DLC. What can you do with appeal packs? Oh yeah, you know, you win a game and you start randomly, you know, holding R3 and spamming it everywhere, but, you know, that's not DLC to me. DLC to me is like Cloaked in Silence, you know, stuff like that. But,
Even with that DLC, they gave us 3 maps that were, was it 3 maps that were a part of the story mode? That they were already like,
well, yeah. Like Rust
Yeah,
Palace
Rust
and that,
Palace
yeah.
was a part of the story mode. Coral Complex, that's another base, so
Yeah,
part of the story mode.
And Azura Mountain was Africa. I think it was somewhere in Africa.
it was in that,
Yeah.
it was all story mode. So
So
like,
they were all story mode
you
maps.
didn't
Yeah.
even really give us a DLC. You just took parts of the environment in the story and then put them in online. Like, it wouldn't be that hard to do that.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't mind Grad or Coppertown Conflict back in MGO3. Those were great maps. I love those maps on MGO2.
Overtime Conflict, Grozny Grad, and Midtown Maelstrom. Those 3 would work.
Yeah, those were great maps.
Virtuous Vista.
You know
would
how
work.
successful you could be on those, especially in Midtown Maelstrom because of the houses. There'd be a lot of CQC in there.
Exactly.
So I don't.
But they don't think like that.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, like on MGO2, the maps were. It was very, you know, racial. It was very, you know, balanced. You know, some of the maps were really small because on MGO2 you can't sprint, so it did compensate for that. But then when you have maps like, say, Rust Palace Rush on MGO3, where you could sprint round, you know, it just defeats the purpose. It only takes, what, like 10 seconds to get to each, like, say, control on that map. It only takes like 10 seconds to get to all the points by sprinting, you know, whereas...
Especially with Demo 3 and Forces. Oh my god.
Oh, Demo 3. Oh my god. It's basically Chinese, you know, New Year. It's Chinese New Year when it's Demo 3 on Control. There's so many grenades going out and there's so many explosions. Jesus Christ. And they still haven't, like, you know, they still haven't found a way to, you know, counter against it. It's just on Control. It's like Demo 3 is now the meta. Underbarrel grenade launcher on the AM MRS4, you know, that's the meta as well. It's like, but they still haven't fixed it. There's no counter to it. Everyone is using it because it's, you know, it's just broken and OP.
And the fact that Perfect still didn't say anything. I don't know if Demo 3 was like shown in the beta that he played, but if it was, and the fact that he didn't say anything about that, I don't think I could trust you about, and as you say, about Konami's future games or the games that they have now, or anything really. Cause
This man didn't say anything about the CQC thing. He not saying nothing about no Demo 3.
yeah, like
But you know that's what faggots do.
exposed on Impact. I don't know about all that. And the fact that the radius is so like, I remember in Rust Palace, I was on the top floor. One of my teammates killed a dude like downstairs, and he had Demo 3 on. So a grenade dropped where he died. It exploded. I died all the way from up top. That shouldn't happen.
I know that should never happen.
And that should not happen. That's just broken.
Anyway, PyroGuardian, I've meant to ask you because I really wanted to ask you especially on what's your opinion on Perfect Stealth. So go ahead, shoot on him as hard as you can. Tell me what's your honest opinion on Perfect Stealth.
Everything that Cyclone said, and including the fact that the man is a faggot. He will always be a faggot. There is no coming back from wherever he is right now. He comes from a long line of faggots. His grandfather's probably a faggot. His father's a faggot. Like that's honestly how I feel. And the fact that like the whole Twitter thing when he called Jen a bad father because he's calling you a shill. Like you brought that man's kids into an argument. They're kids. And he wasn't even having an argument with you. He just stated a fact that you're a shill for Konami. That's a fact. And then for you to say something like, "Oh, he's a bad father," and then go on and say, "Oh, this," I forgot actually what he said, but probably the screenshots. We got screenshots, so if he ever tries to deny it, we're gonna throw them up.
Oh
But
yeah, definitely.
he's like,
My friend Champu Chetty, aka Average Student 5 on Twitter, he's got a shit ton of screenshots because I told him, I said, Champu, if I was you, I'd get as many screenshots as you can. And he was like, oh, why? I said, get as many screenshots as you can because in the future, if anything was being said by Perfect Self or Konami, I'm just going to say to him, I'll say, well, you know what? Screenshots are a bitch. Have a look at what he's been saying about Gen Snake and especially about his kids. And this is the guy that you're supporting and sponsoring. Fuck you guys, seriously. But anyway, go ahead.
then he's like, oh, I haven't played MGO in all this time, and people are trying to come at me, steal these kids. And I'm like, nobody's being immature here but you. Like, you're the only one that brought this man's kids into the argument. And then now you want to turn around and act like, oh, they attacked you. So that's why you said that out of anger or something. And then you had his girlfriend coming over here. Oh, just ignore them. Ignore them. They're kids. Just ignore them. Everything will be fine. How about you go sit down somewhere? This is not. Nobody was even talking about you. So for you to even come into that argument and say that after he's blocked everybody, mind you.
Yeah, he even blocked me. Like, what did I do? I never.
Wow.
Everybody that tweeted at the man, bro.
I never.
So for his girlfriend to come out there like that, she's a shield too.
I said, laugh my ass off. I was like, what?
you only say laughing my ass off and you get blocked for it.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
They help each other out because people followed Perfect Stealth when the MGO wasn't out because he got to play it, and people wanted to know what the game was like since we all played MGO too. So people follow him. That's probably why he has the amount of followers now that he does. And then his girlfriend, well, for starters, she's a girl, so she's automatically going to get followed.
Yeah.
And then you also have the people that's from Perfect Stuff's what's name, his Twitter or his following her. So like, you're both of you are shills, or both of them are shills for Konami. They will deny it as much as they can, but they are.
Exactly.
And then, now Perfect Stealth is doing this whole, what's it called? Like, Chronicles of a Tank on Overwatch that gets like 30 views.
Yeah.
Don't
roasted.
Want to watch you play Overwatch. People followed you for MGO. You were trash at MGO. You quit MGO, and now you want to try and play another game. Don't nobody want to watch you play no other game.
Exactly.
They want to watch you play MGO. Why do they want to watch you play MGO? I have no clue. I don't know why they want to sit there and watch somebody die 24/7 on the screen, but I don't know. Maybe that's just something they want to see. Or maybe they just like you as a person, which I find that hard to do too.
As a person, definitely not. I don't know how someone could like that in real life. The fact that, like, up front, he comes across as a guy that might come across as, helpful, nice to people or something. Oh, I do Twitch, and, I've got followers and all whatsoever. But as soon as the camera is off, he's bad-mouthing everybody. Oh, fucking PyroGuardian, you should have seen him before. He came onto my Twitter and he said this and this. He hurt my feelings, so I blocked him. And, like, I could imagine him. I could imagine him having the conversation with his girlfriend. Like, I can imagine him, like, right now at his house. Even if he's listening to his podcast as we speak, I can imagine him, like, right now crying to his girlfriend. Oh, they're saying bad things about me. I blocked them weeks ago and they're still saying bad things about me. Well, maybe if you fix up your fucking personality and start, being nice to people and start acknowledging that you are not the best player in MGO3, shut the fuck up when it comes to your Discord post, because I've seen your Discord post when you're saying stuff like, oh, back in my day, in my prime, I was a pretty damn good MGO3 player. Mate, if you're a pretty good damn MGO3 player, how come you did not get past the first fucking round on an ESL tournament? That's embarrassing as fuck. And the fact that Konami still... Yeah, go on.
He thinks that he's a good MGO player because he played trash people. I guarantee you, I think we haven't played the game at the same amount of time, us and him. So what I would want to do is get encrypted and him get his team and see what happens.
Bro, you remember that tournament that he hosted?
Where he lost and then he canceled the tournament?
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
wanted to play us, and he was like, nah, I don't want to play no more. I was like,
Oh my fucking god.
it's the same thing.
Man, like, yo, I'm going to host a tournament and then you lose.
Because he was in it, and we were about to play Maxwell, and he was like, nah, I don't want to play. I was like, man, why host the tournament then?
Because he wanted to
And
boost his own ego.
He let us in. He knew he was getting himself into, but he lost first round on a scrim tournament, and he was like, "Nah, I don't want to play no more." What? It's a scrim tournament. Why don't you want to play?
Because he realized that when he lost, he's trash. That's why he don't want to play no more. That's probably when he quit.
I can imagine Konami just. I can imagine.
There,
Go on, Cyclone. Go on, Cyclone. I'm sorry.
but he was so booty tickled. He was sitting there. We were like, "All right, man, what's next?" Because we won first round. He was like, "All right, who we play next?" He was so silent, man. Because we was in like a chat, like a text chat, and we were waiting for the answer. And I was like, "Man, I'm just about to get off. This is a waste of time. He's pussy. He don't want to play." And I even messaged him privately, and he was just like, he never answered or anything. I always ask for like, "Hey, you talking all this trash? Let's scrim or something. You know, let's settle it." And he never responded to me on PSN. He dodges, he fake, and those are three characteristics that I don't like about people, man.
Exactly.
Especially in real life. If you do it online, I don't know what to tell you. I can only imagine in real life.
I mean, the stuff he says is like very cringy as fuck as well. Because recently I used to go on RMGO, it's the Reddit MGO. I've got a bit of a following on that community, and they do like listen to this podcast. They really do like listening in. So anyone who's listening, thank you for following this podcast series. But like when I'm on Reddit, I remember I posted a video. There was me, Sential, some other people, and we were trolling this kid that joined our party because this kid was so unbelievably dumb. Like I'll even link the video to you guys later. Like it was so dumb. Like we literally told him, you know, Jade Forest. We told this kid, say, right, it's Cloak and Dagger. We're on the attacking team though. Go through the whole map wearing cardboard box, not stealth camo, cardboard box. Tell us how you get on. Oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. So then he actually wears a cardboard box, goes through the whole map, and then he gets killed within like 10 seconds, and we're laughing our asses off. So I posted it on Reddit, and I thought it was funny. But you know, Perfect Stealth, he comes in, comments on it, tries to become the perfect holy white knight. Oh, you guys are you're nothing but cyber bullies and all this and that. And I was like saying, how is that cyberbullying? We're trolling a kid, for fuck's sake. It's not like we're saying, oh, delete System 32 or give us your bank details, mate. You know, we weren't doing anything like that. So here comes the cringy part. And then he says to us, well, yeah, you know what? Me and that kid, we could take 6 of you on. And I'm like, you and that kid who wears a cardboard box on attack, on Jade Forest, on Cloak and Dagger, are going to take 6 of us. Me, Sential, Champion Chetty, Joe Maserati, and some others. You're going to take us 6 with you 2. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to take you 6 on. So I was like, right, I'll accept it. So I'm waiting on PSN. I'm waiting in for him, to challenge us. And I get no message on PSN. So I'm like, keep messaging him all the time. I said, what the fuck, where's this 2v6 that you're going to do? And he still won't reply. So then later on, when I'm doing the podcast series and I was talking to Jensnick, and we're going to talk about the Twitter feud now, so if everyone is listening in, they'll know what's happening. He was like saying, I was ducking him. How am I ducking you? It's like, come on, there's 6 of us. There's 6 of us against 2 of you. How would we duck?
I'm messaging you to play right now, and you ducking me.
Well, yeah. If you listen to the previous podcast, I'm challenging him to 1v1s instead. I'm like, well, let's not do a 2v6, because that is quite a bit unfair, even though that you asked for a 2v6. Don't lie, Perfect Self. You asked for a 2v6, so I was going to give you one. But then I said to him, no, you know what, let's do a 1v1, me versus you. Nobody, interfering, still keeps ducking. But then when he was like, messaging me on Twitter and says, well, I've got screenshots of you ducking me, do you want me to bring them up? I'm like, go ahead, bring them up. But I swear to Christ, he's not even brought any screenshots whatsoever, because it's just all boast, it's all, fluff. There's no screenshots of me ducking him. I'm like, stop talking bullshit, mate. Stop trying to, front in front of your Twitter followers, because no one's going to believe you. You've got no screenshots. But then again, though, there were some people that did believe him and, started saying that I was ducking him. And, yeah, go ahead.
Konami. He can't be wrong.
Well, yeah, it's because Konami's backing him, he can't be wrong. And I just find it funny when, right, I'll talk about the Twitter thing. I did a podcast with Jen Snake, if anyone's listening, I did a podcast with Jen Snake, and then he started calling me out. Perfect Self, not Jen Snake. Perfect Self started calling me out. He says, "Oh, this podcast series, yeah, I find it funny someone dedicates a good portion of their podcast talking shit about me." Well, it's not talking shit if it's fact. You know, the whole thing is fact, because it's not just me. You've got PyroGuardian, you've got Cyclone, you've got the Purest One, you've got Jen Snake, you've got Sential, you've got any amount of other people that have been on this podcast series, and they all say one thing: you are an arsehole, you are a cocksucker, you are a Konami Spice Boy. You know, you just suck that Konami dick as much as you can, because, you know, no one gives a fuck about your Overwatch series. So then he's like calling me out, and he's like saying, "Oh, well, you're telling lies about me," and this, that, and other. So then I said on Twitter, and it's all there, I have not deleted one single tweet, I said, "Come to this podcast. Come to this podcast, we'll talk it out like men. It could be the best podcast because there'll be a lot of shots firing at each other." Then he says to me, "No, I'm not going to go on your podcast because I'm not going to give you views." I'm like, you're giving me views. Have you seen your videos recently? You've only got like 80 views per video. If anything, I'm the one that's getting you views. But then he goes, no, I'm not going to your podcast. That's it. End of whatsoever. So then I started saying, you know, fuck you. Seriously, this is just the real Perfect Self coming out. You won't dare say anything to the face. You just always hide behind a computer screen. You always bullshit about everybody. He talks bullshit about my good friend Centaur, and that's why I hate him so much. And then later on, when the community of MGO was on Twitter, everyone caught on. So, you, PyroGuardian, who else? Jen Snake, obviously, Spectre X7, other people, they started joining in. And I just loved it because everyone was ripping into him. They were saying, like, "Oh, Perfect Self, you're nothing but a shill." So then he started crying to his girlfriend, like, "Oh, they're all being nasty to me." And then he started blocking everybody. He blocked everybody, even the people that just said, like what Cyclone said, even though going laughing my fucking ass off. He blocked everyone. And I just find it funny, he got his girlfriend involved, and she's got no say whatsoever. But I mean, isn't that embarrassing by itself? That's like me having a Twitter feud with, like, say, even though I'm friends with the guy, it's like me saying, "Oh, Purest One, I don't think you're all that good," and then Purest One goes, "Well, fuck you, nobody's heard of you." And then that's like me saying, "Well, I'm going to get my mother on you." You don't do it. Why? I just don't understand. It's like, why get your family or friends into it? You can't back it up. What started off as a 1-versus-1, like, good old verbal debate on Twitter, and then you start bringing your girlfriend into it. I mean, that's embarrassing as fuck. Come on, you got a girl fighting your battles. That's embarrassing. You hide behind your girlfriend. Or what? 98 pounds of her. Fucking embarrassing. Honest to fucking God. But yeah, that's how the whole Twitter feud was happening. And did you know he was the moderator of the Reddit MGO as well? And for some reason, we all got in his head so much, he actually deleted the Reddit MGO. Because he was the top moderator at the time. He was inactive, but he was the top moderator. He deleted the whole Reddit because he was so pissed off. And I'm like...
So that means he stopped he was inactive, so that means he stopped going to it. But something made him so mad that he got back on it and just deleted the whole thing.
Well, yeah, he tried to delete the whole thing.
Didn't post on it.
No, he never posted for ages. He never posted for months, PyroGuardian. He never posted for months. But he was the original creator of that Reddit, and I was the moderator. I was appointed moderator by someone else who left, so I was technically the person in charge. But on the moderating list, he would be on top of the charge. But he's never been there for months, and he went back to it, and he tried to delete the whole Reddit. And I found that very embarrassing. You tried to kill off the whole community because of one argument with me and a few others. It's fucking embarrassing.
If you can't play the game, nobody can play the game. That's basically.
Well, it's like saying, if you don't like me and the community don't like me, well, you all don't deserve this community page. It's essentially deleting fan forums because no one likes you. It's so pathetic. It's so sad. Like, I can't get over it. If he was because he was top of the moderating list, what he should have done instead, I don't know why I'm saying this now, but what should he have done instead? He should have banned me from the Reddit. But he should still be the moderator. He would win at the end of the day. I can't go on the Reddit. He's still on top of the moderation list. Perfect Self is the dictator of our MGO. He's won everything. But the idiot actually deleted everybody and tried to delete the Reddit page. And I just find that embarrassing. You tried to delete the whole page because of one argument. Embarrassing. You hide behind your girlfriend, all 98 pounds for embarrassing. You are pure cringe, mate. You are the reason why cringe exists. If we look up in the dictionary of cringe, it'll say Perfect Self is an example. I mean, look at you. Look at your streams. You're boring. You are absolutely boring. All you do is sit there, you in your Soldier 76 shirt, all 135 pounds off you, sitting there with some kind of beanie hat.
Whoa.
Go on. I was going to roast him, but go on.
A Soldier 76 shirt?
Yes, he wears a Soldier 76 shirt while he's sponsored by Konami. Work that one out. I don't know. But anyway, I'm nearly done with the roasting. You know,
Soldier 76 shirt?
he sits there with a Soldier 76 shirt and his beanie and his neck beard. He sits there. He just talks like randomly and nonsensical.
Hold on. I have another question.
Go on.
Is he in the same shirt every stream?
Well, that's actually a good question, because if you looked at these MGO videos, you know, when he was doing reactions and all that to, like, say, Metal Gear Solid 5.
I haven't watched any of this.
But a lot of them...
After he said the thing about the CQC, I said, this man's a faggot, and I'm not going to watch any of his videos, so I haven't watched anything. I know of his videos because people tell me, but...
I mean, it's funny though, because there's a lot of like videos of him in real life, and he's always wearing the same type of shirt or wearing the same type of hat. You know, that it just says it all, isn't it? But hold on, I've nearly done roasting him. So he sits there, he does his streams, he starts talking, he says, "Oh, look at me, I'm playing Overwatch." Mate, no one gives a fuck about your Overwatch videos. You've only got 8 views. My podcast series, even though I've only got 273 subscribers at the date of this podcast, they're getting way more views than you. They're getting 3 times more views than you because they are better than your videos. Your videos are absolutely boring. You sit there in £135 wearing a Soldier 76 shirt and wearing some beanie. You sit there, you're boring. If you're literally a vanilla streamer, that's right, a vanilla streamer, because it's so boring. You know, if you looked up a different streamer that's not famous, but if you look at a different streamer, they act exactly the same as Perfect Self. Sits there, he doesn't say anything funny, he doesn't acknowledge anyone that's like, you know, watching his stream. He just sits there going, "Oh, today I'm going to play Roadhog." Mate, you can't even play fucking Roadhog. I've seen you when you play Roadhog. You can't even get like a good like hook chain or whatsoever. Your skill rating is shit. Last time you said, "Oh, my skill rating is 58 because of solo queuing." No, mate, that's because you're fucking shit. I've got a higher skill rating than you, and you claim to be like a PC player, and apparently PC players are better players. I am playing on PS4. Apparently I'm a worse player, but I've still got a higher skill rating than you. You know, he's so boring. There's nothing unique about him. If you want to look up, right, okay, end round. If you want to look up that someone that is very good at streaming, look no other than Professor Kai. Do you two guys know Professor Kai?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
I mean, I'm good friends with him, and when you watch his streams, he's funny. He's funny. He acknowledges his fans. You know, he's very unique. He's original, and I'll be honest, I think he's the guy who could hit it the most mainstream. If he stopped doing Metal Gear Online videos and Metal Gear Solid, he would honestly become the next mainstream like top big thing. But I keep asking myself sometimes. I actually do sit there and I ask myself, and I even ask him. I say, why is he not a K-Code streamer? You know, he's got a shit ton of fans. He's got a shit ton of subscribers. People watch his stuff because he's actually quite good. But Konami won't sponsor him. I will never know. They sponsored someone that plays Overwatch, sits there with a Soldier 76 shirt, but that's not Konami. That's Blizzard. But they still sponsor him for it. It makes no sense whatsoever.
They won't sponsor Kai because when he sees something wrong with the game, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say what's wrong with the game. He's gonna say what he likes about the game and what he dislikes about the game. He's not gonna say, "Oh, everything's great. You should go ahead and drop this $60 for MGS 5 and just forget." No, you should play the story. Actually, beat the story and then play some what they call that FOBs. Play some FOBs and go ahead and play some MGO while you're at it. The whole game is fun. When in reality, the story was trash, the gameplay was good. In MGO, that was just, it's trash. It's just bad. I don't know why I played it for so long, but it's bad.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
like,
it definitely is.
People will say that, but Perfect Self, like, when the game released, he was like, "Oh, everything's good, there's nothing wrong with it." And people are getting grabbed from, like, you're on Amber Station, you getting grabbed from, like, Black Site. A whole nother map.
Well,
There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that?
It's just so bullshit, you know. It's like Konami sit there and they actually think that this game is, you know, alright. It's like, I don't want to rip into the guy too much, but do you two guys know Robert Peeler?
I wish I didn't, but yeah.
I mean, the thing is with Robert Peeler, right? He's not nasty, but he's like, he sits there and he's very ignorant about stuff. Like, people complain, they'll say, oh, but there's a CQC glitch or whatsoever. And it's like, he sits there and it's like, well, there's nothing wrong with the game, you know, it's fine whatsoever. And I'm like, mate, it's not fine. How many people are complaining about MGO 3, like the gameplay mechanics or the glitches? But he does sit there and he just says, well, I'm just writing all this feedback, but I think the person in the game is fine. But it's like, mate, you've only played the game, what, once, twice, 3 times at best? Like every 2 months or something, and you think that's fine?
Let me know. Let me tell you how I know that Peeler does not play it. When that DLC came out, and he was in the free play screen or whatever, he was like, they were like, show us how to use the knife. Okay, so he takes the knife out. He's like, all right. I think if you tap it 3 times, you do 3 slices, and then if you tap it 4 times, that's a stab. So he taps it 4 times, right?
And there's no stop.
He doesn't stab. He's sitting there like, wait, there's something wrong. So he does it again. He does it 4 times again. It doesn't stab. And then he finally holds it down and it stabs. He's like, oh, well, if you hold it down, it stabs. What? Wait, you're in the camp where this is getting developed. So you got it before us. And you're supposed to be community manager. And you're supposed to know what's going on with your game and how to do the stuff in your game, at least. And you don't even know how to stand?
Talk about embarrassing on a video. Oh yes, tap 4 times to do a stab. It's like anyone who plays MGO2 knows you hold it down to do a stab. You don't tap it 4 times to do a stab.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know.
Just when I heard that you said, oh yeah, he says tap it 4 times to make a stab, I just knew where this was going. You just knew what was going to happen, and it's just embarrassing.
That's how he doesn't know anything about MGO. Nothing.
Well, exactly, and I mean, the thing is with Robert Peeler as well, like, that whole Twitter thing, when he was like, Perfect Self was calling Jen Snake's kid, saying he was a bad father and everything, I kept messaging Robert Peeler. I said, why are you guys sponsoring a guy that's like, you know, insulting people's kids? You know, you're letting him insult people's kids who have got nothing into it whatsoever, but you're sponsoring him. But he wouldn't reply to me. But do you know why he wouldn't reply to me? Because he recently met Perfect Stealth at Gamescom. And it just shows to me that they're all like good friends anyway. So obviously Rob Peeler's not going to say anything about Perfect Stealth. He's very crooked. He's obviously going to say, well, you know, Perfect Stealth is a nice guy, really. I just think you guys were making him angry and, you know, he doesn't deserve the hate. Well, it's because you don't know the real side of him. You just only know the cocksucking side of him. And, you know, and he's still letting him sponsor, you know, it's like, he's going around insulting people's kids. This is the type of guy, right, if Perfect Self went out tomorrow and murdered someone or raped someone, do you think Konami would still sponsor him? Of course they will, because they need someone to sponsor. It's just embarrassing, the fact that he could get away with anything and they get sponsored. It's like, fuck me, where do I sign up, you know, I'll get sponsored and do anything.
Robert Peeler looked like he stink. Quick side note.
Even if K. Cole came up to me and said, hey, we want to sponsor you, I wouldn't want to do it. That's too much. The fact that K. Cole wants to sponsor people, and the fact that people want to be sponsored by people is just stupid in my opinion. Like, K. Cole...
I wanted to do it, like, at a time, but then I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this?
The company is ass, so like, even if K. Cole came up to you and said, hey, we want to sponsor you, why would you want to do it?
Yeah,
I think it's the appeal of being sponsored by Konami, but like what PyroGuardian was trying to say, I think it's like, at the time you think to yourself, oh, well, you know, Konami's recognized me, I'm going to be an official streamer for Konami, but it's like, but you're going to sell yourself out. You're not going to say as much as you can, like what you would usually say, because Konami's just going to be watching you all the time, and whatever you're going to say, if PyroGuardian says something like, oh, but Demo 3 is shit, you know, Konami can, like, literally turn around and say, hey, wait a minute, PyroGuardian, you're not supposed to say that kind of stuff. If you keep saying stuff like that, you will not get sponsored anymore. So, yeah, I don't see the point of being sponsored by Konami, especially K-Code streamer.
Like, I remember when Jim was sponsored by K-Code, we actually had to mute, like, we couldn't share our voices whenever he streamed because we were so unpolitically correct. We had the
We were too black for the
yeah,
street,
we were way too damn
essentially.
black, man. We called
Yeah.
people faggots, constantly saying nigga, like it was just bad. So it's like you don't have freedom when you're sponsored by K-Code. I mean, whenever I play a game, I like to have no filter and just be myself.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the best way to go. It's like when people say to me, "Oh, TSG, when I watch your MGO3 videos or any other videos, you seem like a nasty guy, cocky guy, or whatsoever." Well, think what you say, but it's like, at least I am me. At least that's who I am. At least I don't say, "Oh, today, everybody, we're going to play MGO3. Today's session, we're going to play Cloak and Dagger." And then when somebody kills me, when it's like the most bullshit way, like say a knife stab from 10 meters, you don't see me sitting there go, "Oh, that guy got me." That is so bad. I am a K-Code streamer. I am not going to say anything bad about this game because I ain't getting sponsored to sell myself out. I will sit there and go, "Oh, fucking hell, what's this? What? Fuck this guy, seriously." That's who I am. I couldn't do it. I could not be like, I couldn't sell myself out to be someone like that.
I hate people that do that, man.
Can't be yourself. Like whenever I see Perfect Stealth stream or something, like it's just like he's so stiff. Like
He's so robotic. That's the word.
All shrugged up, his controller right in his hand. Like
it's like, yo, let Konami open your cheeks. Let Konami take that pole out your butt.
Yeah.
Like unstiffen yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Like stop getting butt plugged and just play the game, man.
Exactly. He's so robotic. That's why I come up with the term vanilla streamer. Someone who's, boring, may have some skill in the game, no mic skills whatsoever, and possibly a random, rapid stubborn internet fandom. Maybe a very small, rapid, stubborn internet fandom, but that's Perfect Stealth. He is the definition of vanilla streamer. And after this podcast, I'm going to submit that to Urban Dictionary, and I will use him as the example. Someone who's got some kind of skill in the game, boring, no mic skills and whatsoever, because that's who he is. But, like when you watch streamers, though, and they sit there and they just don't... They just seem so robotic because they're getting sponsored. It's like Konami or, hell, any other company, say like EA or Blizzard or Ubisoft. It's like someone's pointing a gun at them off camera or something like, you dare say something bad about this game and I will shoot you. Because that's what it's like. It's just so... It's horrible. It's like, I'd rather be what's the word? One of those Indian workers that work at those places where they make soccer balls. Well, I'm saying soccer because you two guys are American, and they get paid like what? Like 50 cents or something per hour? Making all these balls.
Like the sweatshop, I think.
Yeah, actually, I'd rather work in a sweat factory than be a streamer, like, for Konami. I'd rather work in a sweat factory.
And the fact that people let them be controlled by gaming companies it gives them power. Like, hey, we can put whatever we want out to the community, and we can just have these people say it's a great game. There's nothing wrong with it, and we're gonna sell it. And we're gonna
why they're releasing Metal Gear Survive now.
Yeah, because we got people like Perfect Stealth saying, "Oh man, the game has the best weapons. It makes sense. It goes with the story." No, it doesn't. And people are and since Perfect Stealth is feeding them lies and they can relate to Perfect Stealth, they're on the same social level as them. They're gonna buy the game.
Well, yeah.
And Konami's gonna think, hey, we can release shit games to the community, and we can still sell and make money. Because we got people like Perfect Stealth. And that's the
while we're on subject of Metal Gear Survive, I would like to bring somebody up called by the name of Magswag.
Oh, go ahead. I want to know more story about this.
Let me get this. Let me bring this up. Hold on. He had a list that it was like 10 reasons to love Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah.
Let me hold on.
I guess.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it up. It says,
just like Perfect Stealth.
Yeah, he's the same. They're like the same person. Real talk.
Oh, by Konami.
Yeah, but it's like, so my thoughts about Perfect Stealth, I think the same about Maxwell. But it says like number 1. It says it would be one of the best games out. What?
What about Kingdom Hearts 3? Isn't that
There's Kingdom Hearts 3, there's God of War 4, Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Not to mention one of the past Metal Gear games. Name any one before 5.
Yeah.
Then it says 2, graphic and gameplay looks amazing. Well, they didn't change anything from MGS 5, so I don't know why you would bring that up as a point. Then 3, it says bridging the gap between Ground Zeroes series and the Phantom Pain. What?
It's an alternate timeline. How does that bridge it?
My point exactly. So I didn't know that we were playing with Big Boss and he got sucked up into the wormhole.
And the fact
Maybe
that
this is what he was doing while we were building up Mother Base. Was he in the wormhole?
the fact that Kojima was interviewed, I had nothing to do with Metal Gear Survive. What does zombies have to do with tactical espionage and stealth?
Yeah.
To be serious, that just rules out that reason why Metal Gear Survive is going to be one of the greatest games in 2017.
Reason number 4, it says new weapons are good, basically. That's a reason to love a game? Because of how the weapons look?
You could have like the
Then
most
5.
worst game ever, but like you could have really good weapons, but you could have the worst game ever and it'd still be a very shit game.
I saw some
exactly.
gameplay. The weapons aren't even all that. Like it's nothing.
They don't look good.
Before. Yeah,
They don't look
I've
good.
seen some weapons before. So
5, it says a co-op experience. It's always good to play with friends. I'll give you that, but that's not a reason that a game is good just because it has co-op.
I mean, Peace Walker could have been shit. It still had co-op.
Exactly. Number 6 is Konami helped us give 30 years of Metal Gear games. # have faith. That's not a reason for me to want to like MGS Survive or whatever this fag game is called. Number 7, it says Metal Gear Survive looks better than 99% of the games coming out.
Hell no, man.
No,
Oh,
I have to very disagree with that. Even though I like Metal Gear so much, and even if it was Kojima who was still there, I would have to disagree with that. I'm sorry.
Kojima wouldn't have let this happen.
I know he wouldn't have let this happen.
Yeah, he wouldn't have let this shit happen, man.
Then it says number 8 is the challenge to survive in the stealth game seems like a lot of fun. Now, if you look at the gameplay trailer, the guy, they call them creatures, but we all know they're zombies. Come on now. But they want to call them creatures. So he comes up behind 2 of them, and he's like, oh, it's dangerous to take on multiple ones at once. There's 2.
Yeah, and they don't even look
What's
hard.
stopping me? Yeah, and what's stopping me from just pulling my gun out and busting both of them in the head and continuing my story? What? How does that look like it's fun?
I wonder if there's gonna be an objective in Metal Gear Survive.
I hope the game flops. I hope they go bankrupt, and I hope they learn.
It really seems pointless to me, man. It really does. Like you just go around killing zombies. It looks like Call of Duty Black Ops 3 zombies.
Number 9, it says most Metal Gear games have an 8-year waiting period. We get this in 2 years late.
Yeah.
So because a game takes less time to make, that means it's good. That's what he's saying.
Bullshit, absolute bullshit, because that means the product. That means the product is rushed, and that means they haven't put much effort in the game. Granted, though, there is some games that could have been rushed and they're still very good. But the fact that it's a Metal Gear game, this is a game that's supposed to be really big, and you're rushing a project like this, it's not going to be good. That's what I'm going to say.
MGS 5 was rushed, and look what happened.
If you look at games that are made by Square Enix, Final Fantasy has been delayed so many times for reasons that we don't know. But I guarantee you that it'll probably be one of the best games of 2017. Same thing with Kingdom Hearts 3. I've been waiting on Kingdom Hearts 3 for a long time. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a great game. Just
because they actually delay it and want to make sure their game is perfect before they release it.
They came up with a plot, story, gameplay. It's going to be a great game.
And number 10, we have the shield. The shield reason. The most shield reason of
the
them
GOAT
all,
reason. I've seen this, but go on. Say it.
Yes.
Number 10.
It's a Metal Gear game.
It's a Metal Gear game. This is why the game is going to be good, because it's Metal Gear. I am lost for words.
How is that
You
not
could
a shield answer? Because it's Metal Gear. The topic of the list was 10 reasons to love Metal Gear Survive. So let's insert number 10 in the topic. Your reason to love Metal Gear Survive is because it's a Metal Gear game.
So, if the developer of Metal Gear Survive, so if he goes to the toilet and has a shit, would that mean Max Swag will say, yeah, but this is a Metal Gear shit. This is why it's good.
Apparently, yeah. That's what it seemed like.
Well, yeah, it just seems like that. Like anything they could release, the developer, the game itself. Oh, but because it's Metal Gear, it's good. It doesn't work like that way. You can polish a turd as much as you like, but at the end of the day, it's a turd. That's how the old saying goes.
I don't know, man. You can ask people about Metal Gear Acid.
It was, man. Like, oh, it's Metal Gear. I gotta buy it. It's gonna be a great game. No, it's not because of the title. It's because of the gameplay, the story, the plot. That's what makes something good. That's what makes a story good. And stories are games.
That's what made the past Metal Gears good.
Yeah.
Except for 5.
It had a great story.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that Metal Gear Survive, it just feels very like arcadey. Yeah, I can tell it's going to be a freemium game where most of the stuff is going to be free, but there's going to be a lot of premium stuff where you're going to have to buy with real money. I just know there's going to be a lot of microtransactions on this game. You can tell. They're not going to release a game very shortly. Within Metal Gear Solid 5 to survive, they're not going to release a game like that, not expecting a profit of some kind. They're going to release a shit ton of microtransactions.
$15 in the new DLC. Oh, no, I don't want to go and bow and arrow, man.
I was just about to say that, man. Do you want a golden spear for the low price of $9.99?
Yeah, man, like, I don't understand, man.
Overall, I wasn't really impressed by the gameplay trailer. When I was watching with Professor Kai, I was watching on his YouTube, and they were trying to DMCA his video because he was streaming from the Tokyo Game Show. We were literally watching other parts of the Tokyo Game Show. It was all fine, but as soon as Metal Gear 5 comes on, the DMCA all over the place. So we had to watch the stream on like the official, Konami YouTube. And we were watching it, and I was just like saying to him, I was like, this isn't really great. It's like, oh yeah, there's the Peace Walker co-op rings or whatsoever, but it's like, is this stuff supposed to impress me? And then I saw like there's a hunger and thirst level, so I was like, right, so there's going to be actually like a hunting, aspect of the game. But what you have to do is go to the menu, find whatever you want. So if you need to like heal a broken leg or something, you just go hold down X. There's no animation. There's no animation where he's going to sit down, get a bandage out, wrap it all up, snap his leg into place or anything. No, he just holds down X, and that's it. Leg magically healed. And I'm like, I'd expect this quality from a PS1 game. No, scratch that. I'd expect this quality from a NES game, where you just hold down X or A or B, for example, on NES, or where you hold down A or B and that's it. You've got something sorted out. But no, they can't even be bothered to do the animation, because it's just, at the end of the day, pure laziness.
But even in MGS5, the prologue, when he gets hurt or whatever, you have to snap your leg back by pressing triangle, but there's an animation for that.
Well, yeah.
And then just like when you get really hurt in the story mode, you have to spray the healing spray on you. There's an animation for that.
Well, yeah. But it's like, on Metal Gear Survive, this is a newer game, and they still can't even do that. But at the end of the day, it's just pure laziness. They just want to cut corners.
They just want a quick way to make money, honestly. And with people like Perfect Stealth and Mad Swag feeding the public lies and reasons to why this game is going to be a great game, they're going to make money, and they're going to keep doing this shit to the public. And there's literally nothing we can do about it, because Konami's got their hands on Perfect Stealth and Mad Swag's balls, and they both have a lot of influence over the community. So whatever they say, the community's going to do. And if they say Metal Gear Solid Survive is going to be a great game, they're going to buy it. And they're going to make money, and they're going to release more games like that.
Well, exactly.
Go
ahead, PyroGuardian.
The people that are going to buy this game are the people that are going to listen to Perfect Stealth and Mad Swag, and the people that have only played MGS5 and haven't played any other Metal Gear game.
They need to release Metal Gear Solid 3 Remastered. That was the best, probably the best game in the fucking series. I don't know why they won't do it.
Because they're just
because
lazy.
Robert said, Mr. Peeler, just like about the DLC for MGO, it'll take a little bit of effort.
Too much effort.
Yeah, too
You
much
got,
effort.
you got everything. You got the story, the gameplay. All you gotta do is remaster it.
They even have the cutscenes they can use
they
from the
got
pachinko
everything.
machine.
No, too much effort though. It's too much effort. You know, you
That's
can't
so
you
bad,
can't put
man.
too much effort on the developers. You know,
If
I
you
mean, it's
want to
their
make
job.
money, you gotta spend money and put effort into the game. Well, obviously you don't. People like Max Flag and Perfect Stuff, my bad. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. I was expecting this podcast to finish with an hour, but we've been, having such a good chit chat. We've gone overtime, so I'll have to end this podcast on this high note. Thank you, PyroGuardian and Cyclone, for joining the Strongest podcast. How did you rate the experience? Was it good, bad? Should I kill myself, or was it just really awesome? This is the best toast we've ever seen.
Oh, it was good.
it'd be good.
I mean, we answered questions better than Mr. Ace. Mr. Ace wanted to get a PR answer, so I had to come in here and
You